Previously Recorded Podcast. All right, welcome to Previously Recorded. I am your host, as always, RP, and this episode of Previously Recorded is brought to you by Totally Tees. If you need a shirt and you don't have one,
call Totally Tees, they'll get it done.
All right, welcome
nice
back. So as we do promise, this is a Christmas Day episode. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Hoping everybody is having a nice, safe, and fun and festive holiday.
Or you enjoyed Hanukkah already.
Or you enjoyed
Hanukkah
Hanukkah
for Kwanzaa and Boxing Day.
We're all inclusive
Yes,
here.
it's true. As you can hear, those are the voices of my second and fourth chair, Bob and Shane.
Fuck yourselves.
What's up, gentlemen? How are you?
All right.
Yeah, not bad.
Good. All right, cool. All right, welcoming in our third chair, as always, Marvel. Welcome back to the podcast. Merry Christmas.
Hey.
All right. Shout out to former guest Brian for winning us some money. There's your shout out. You asked for it. There it
It's
is.
nice.
So
Shout out to Jesus.
Jesus,
being born.
yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
little
In March or the spring at some point, and
Five.
then us moving it around to fit our schedules.
I say that a lot. Our little 5-pound, 6-ounce baby Jesus in swaddling clothes in the manger. I like to picture him in a tuxedo shirt.
I like to picture my Jesus, and he's playing lead guitar for Leonard Skinner.
And I'm in the front row. Hammer drunk.
So anyway, I hope you all are enjoying your Christmas, and thank you for making Previously Recorded a part of it.
Thank you for making Previously Recorded the #1 podcast in America.
In America
Just
today,
came out.
just today.
Just came out.
So to get ahead of the curve,
What magazine put that out? RP and
It was-
Shane Unlimited? Is that the magazine?
The magazine has 1 subscriber.
But we have.
It's 6 a.m. this morning, and there's one view. Yeah, that's it.
I just figured that we should get ahead of the curve now before it becomes kind of an issue and gets out there. And I figured that we should probably tell our fans first. Yes, we are in a heated lawsuit with the Walt Disney Company.
I like how he started smiling before he said it.
For those who don't know, they recently posted this series called Sunrise on the Disney parks. Well, inside the description, they put at the very end, Previously Recorded, both letters capitalized, and everybody knows that that's our trademark. So basically, we own the Magic Kingdom right now.
We're coming for you, Mickey, you piece of shit.
I knew this podcast was going to pay off.
Here we go. It came. I haven't registered it yet. I'm in the process. It's a lot of legal documents, but Marvel, as the third chair, you get a third share. A third of the shares. We should make it like a fourth, but you get a third of the share. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm with Disney. They own me, so.
I just want
Marvel.
I want to settle. I want it to go to court, and I want them to bring in people in costume to testify, but they can't talk. So it's just like a really adamant like girl dressed like Tinkerbell, or like, you know what I mean? Like in the parks, they're just like Donald Duck, and they're just nodding, or like
Malbar.
They have to sign the affidavits with their park signatures and their giant hands.
Like a giant pencil for them.
Yeah, I really want this to go full-time lawsuit.
But I figured we'd get it out there just so you guys are aware that Previously Recorded is going to be fine. We're going to be really good. It's the Walt Disney Company you need to worry about.
I think we're going to come back even stronger once we have Walt Disney's millions of dollars.
If you
we're going to have Walt Disney back from the dead.
If you like Disney or Marvel or Star Wars or ESPN, kiss that shit goodbye.
We're having nothing to talk about.
Yeah, but we're going to be millionaires
Snyder Cut.
on this podcast.
All right, but speaking of that, we'll get into the good stuff now. If you haven't seen the season finale or almost any of this season of The Mandalorian, skip ahead maybe 5 to 10 minutes in this podcast for avoiding spoilers. With that being said, fucking Luke Skywalker?
Holy shit!
Oh my god! For the obviously, if you're not a fan of Star Wars or whatever, it's been pretty big news that Luke Skywalker showed up in the season finale of The Mandalorian. As from my perspective, I said from the beginning of the season, I want to see absolutely nothing to do with the Skywalkers at all in this show. But once he showed up, I was like, fuck. Like they did it really well because none of the characters knew who he was. They weren't like, oh my God, it's Luke. They were just like, what? Like, all right, this is who you're supposed to go with. And us as fans knew, like, oh shit, like obviously we know it's Luke. And I thought they just did a really good job. And then he came and he left.
Before we get too big into Luke, because obviously that's the big – because we haven't talked about the season. I'm sure we're going to talk about it at some point on another episode. But, like, Boba Fett as well, complete badass still, out of shape, right? Boba Fett, I think, is a joke that Marvel might have said. Somebody absolutely sent Boba Fett, which I laughed at a lot. But, like, still a bit – like, all the things that they brought back – yeah, Ahsoka didn't hit home with me as much as other people just because I'm just currently watching Clone Wars for the first time.
It made me start watching Clone Wars.
Same here.
Like that episode.
So, but
which started out kind of shitty, but now it's fucking amazing. Like,
I'm on episode 10.
I'm about to finish season 2, and it's incredible.
Season 3 is awesome. I'm on season 3 now.
You start with episode 1, and you're very confused what the show is because it's just like a Yoda story.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like you're like, what is this?
The animation's like real weird and choppy.
So does this fall in before or after episode 2?
Clone Wars is after Attack of the Clones.
After Attack of the Clones.
It's after 2, before 3.
Right.
And then apparently
it blends into 3, kind of.
I'm on episode 10 of season 1.
Powered through it because like
season 1
getting good. And then once you get to season 2, it stops being kiddie, and they literally just start snapping necks.
Season 3 is like day and night.
It's amazing.
Between 2 and 3. And then the last Mark, because you've watched all of it, right, Marvel? So like I heard the last episode of the show of season 7, you can basically watch like in time with Revenge of the Sith.
That's what Duke, our friend Duke, is currently doing that, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
The
final like 4 episodes are basically like a movie in themselves. Like it's fantastic.
Marvel, you've seen Rebels, right?
Yeah, Rebels is also really good. I was surprised. Yeah, I liked it a lot. When does that one take place? Especially after Clone Wars. After Clone Wars, like I forget how long after, but
okay.
Yeah, if you watch Clone, because they bring back like a lot of characters.
Cool. So yeah, but anyway, I just jumped into the Luke because the Luke is the big spoiler thing. This season I felt like the finale was really good. It was really well crafted and emotionally, it hit emotionally for me with Grogu and Din, saying their goodbye, taking off the mask. Episode 7 for me was probably my favorite of the season with Bill Burr's character. His whole arc throughout that entire episode was really good.
I love Cara Dune so much too.
Yeah, she's awesome, man. She's cool.
Awesome. I want her to beat me up.
I want her to put me in a chokehold.
Yeah, but let's call out some stuff from the finale. Well, like, what was the craziest thing for you guys?
R2-D2, man. R2-D2 is the best character in Star Wars. Yeah, that's my argument.
Yeah, I was more excited to see R2 than Luke, I think.
R2 shows up, and every time R2 shows up in anything ever, it's like, oh, fucking R2, that's awesome.
That's what I did.
He's the one that ties everything together. Like, he's literally
from the beginning,
the glue of everything, yeah.
So, like, when the Jedi started coming through, and I saw the glove, I was like, okay,
that was it, yeah.
And then once, like, he walked through, I was still like,
what happened
Luke.
First, the glove or the lightsaber? When the lightsaber was green, I was like, oh, there's no way it's Luke. And then I saw the glove, and I was like, oh, fuck, it's Luke.
Dude, at first, I thought it was Ahsoka, but then I saw the one single green lightsaber, and I was like, oh,
like the X-Wing didn't even click in my head.
X-Wing, yeah.
Well, yeah, the X-Wing, too.
But, like at the time, I was like, because the X-Wing showed up earlier in the season, and they were in that little, like, icy thing. So, yeah, I guess they're getting some help from somewhere.
I think part of me thought
I did like that joke, though, where she was like, one X-Wing? Huh, what's that going to do?
Yeah.
Just mows them down.
There was rumor that maybe the character from Jedi Fallen Order might show up, which that takes place between 4 and 5, I believe.
That's the video game?
Yeah.
From Rebels.
I mean, like, Dark Troopers are from the video games as well, I was told. So anything that's on the table, like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Are the video games canon?
I think this is a new video game. It just came out. So
they're kind of taking stuff that's out of canon and making them canon now, which is weird.
Which I think they're just retconning shit to fix the trilogy. Like, Filoni and Favreau are fixing the sequel trilogy.
The meme the other day where it was like,
with
Abrams,
JJ.
and he's like, you can't do everything to satisfy like your traditionalists, and then also bring in a new fan base. And then it's Jon Favreau and just says, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, because it's true. Like,
I mean, they have more time too. Like a movie's harder to kind of flesh this out.
Which, I mean, they bought Star Wars and they announced the movie like immediately. But what the problem that people have with Star Wars now is Episode 8, which I'm saving a lot of this for when we do our Star Wars episodes. But to see what happened, does that mean that Kylo Ren killed Grogu?
We don't know yet. He already escaped once.
Yeah, I mean, and a coworker of mine said that Yoda set R2 in there to save, because I don't know who else would have saved him. And like at this point, it seems like Grogu's story in The Mandalorian's done. So
then the other question is like, is season 3 of The Mandalorian Boba Fett? Do I care enough about the Boba Fett?
Nah, they already established it's not. I think that came out today.
Oh,
okay.
They cleared that up, yeah, because
Okay.
they're being filmed at like different times. Like,
Okay,
so
good.
So Boba Fett's its own show.
Because they said they're going to be. They said December 2021, and they also said season 3 of Mando is December 2021.
Yeah.
And we talked about.
I think pretty sure I read they're different stories.
Okay, good. Because that's what I was worried about. I mean, obviously, my thought process was, okay, if it is the Book of Boba Fett, there's still going to be more Din because they just that episode, the episode ended so abruptly. Like Luke left, and that was it. And there's so much more with the Darksaber and Bo-Katan and Din himself. You know, which now that he's taken off his helmet, like what's going to happen with him and his clan of Mandalorian? Like
he's already taken it off a few times though.
Well, he took it off the first season in front of the robot, but no human has seen him. And then he did it the last episode
in front of Bill Burr's character.
to save the kid because it was
everyone died except for Bill Burr, but then they said that he was dead. So I guess I don't know what the loophole is there.
Which I think it's just, I think he's just far removed from that culture, being with Bo-Katan and Sasha Banks' terrible acting.
Mm-hmm. I want to see more of him fighting with
I don't care how terrible of an actor she is. I will look at her all day.
She beat the shit out of Boba Fett too.
Yeah, she did.
That was sweet. She like used her little like jetpack at the moment.
This season was to me like a master class in new Star Wars while also honoring the old Star Wars. And this episode was directed by Peyton Reed, the director of Ant-Man 1 and 2, which is your old-fashioned segue.
Which makes sense because that's why it was so good. Obviously, you get the best films from the Marvel Universe. Whoever directed
1 is good.
Yeah. Ant-Man 1 is very good. But the crazy part of that, it's just like imagine, like as a fan of Star Wars, because all these people are fans of Star Wars that are directing the Mandalorian, that you get to direct Luke Skywalker, like, and craft a badass Luke Skywalker action scene. Like, it's just fucking awesome, you know? So
I'd like to see, did you see, I think I saw it on Twitter. Somebody did a side-by-side of him going through all the Dark Troopers and then like side-by-side with the Rogue One scene of Vader.
Yeah, it's clear. Like that was it.
That's what they were
like
going
this is
for.
Luke's moment as opposed to like Vader's super powerful. This shows how powerful Luke is.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally made Luke a badass because between Return of Jedi and we see him again, he's a fat, crazy person on the planet. So,
well, that's because Mark Hamill is a fat, crazy person.
But it is crazy that they were able to keep this lip tight for over a year with just kind of some other leaks that have come from like the beginning of the season. Before the show started, there was like so many leaks that, they're having so many issues with Mandalorian season 2 and there's issues on set and everything. And
Grogu's name got leaked in July.
Oh, it did?
Someone on Reddit, but no one took it serious because no one knew. But apparently someone like said it and it was right. But everybody was just like, I don't know if this is real. Because
also, it's not, to me, it's not his name reveal is not a big deal.
Yeah, it was whatever. I didn't even need the name.
Nobody's gonna call him that. I don't call him Grogu.
Unless
He's
they were
still
like,
Baby Yoda.
Unless
a child.
Unless they were like, this is Yoda too. Like,
well, like even after they revealed his name. So what was that? Episode 6?
Yeah.
Was that Ahsoka? Was that no? It was
5.
5.
Yeah.
They don't call him Grogu. Oh, it was absolutely Ahsoka. I just don't remember what number episode that was.
5.
Nobody calls him Grogu after that. They still call him the kid.
The child. Yeah.
The child.
I call him Grogu. Out of respect.
Out of respect.
Yeah.
Well, What's also crazy to me is that
just because he's older than you, because he's 50. Just
yeah. Use the right pronouns.
How much money they have made off of. There's Baby Yoda, a Grogu, shit everywhere for every little thing, and that he's going off the show off season 2.
He's coming back.
You think so?
Yeah, it'll either be like he has to. Like
Mando said, "I'll see you again." Like
that's
so why ingrained. It didn't really hit me that hard when they were saying their goodbyes, because I was like, "You're not going to just forget this."
But when he touched his face, like,
it was nice. But like,
even if it's like one season, he'll be back. Like, there's no way.
He's wanting to go back and
Disney makes too much money.
Adjust how long your spoiler.
But also, like,
come back in 10 minutes and it's just like Grogu, Luke Skywalker, all these things happen. We're not done talking yet.
It's like the opening of Clone Wars where they have that voice.
Yeah.
Like,
just sign the scroll up. Yeah.
The Separatists are fighting on Dathomir.
I like that guy also talks for the one general in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also does Yoda.
I also like that he's like, he's super like stressed when he gives the rundown of what's going on. Like it's like super fast and it sounds like he's tense the whole time.
They didn't give him time to prepare what he has to say.
They're just like, read this. You got to get it under 10 seconds.
Read this. Like, we're recording you now.
Like, Obi-Wan has been fighting with General Rears.
But all in all, it was a 12 out of 10 season. It was really fucking good. Every episode except maybe one. Episode 2 was a filler, but like even that was still really enjoyable. Like,
I think
and they do a really good job of taking, like, Baby Yoda could be like a Pokemon to the show, but they make him.
The Boys is up there. It might be the best thing that's come out during quarantine. I think it might be.
Boys. I would say that The Boys.
I don't know. Like, I'd have to get like if they were coming out side by side, I would be able to tell a little bit easier. But they were the only 2 things that have come out where I'm like looking forward to watching the next episode.
Mm-hmm. I mean, movies wise, like for me personally, I know everybody else here it would not be, but like Hamilton was a big thing for me. Like that was something I was looking forward to on Disney Plus to watch.
I don't count that though, because that was already out. Like you could have seen that at some point.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like this is all new.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Brand new, off the cusp. I'd say probably this and The Boys.
And Tenet in theaters. Just kidding. Maybe saw that.
Not Wonder Woman 1984.
Out today.
If you're listening.
Yeah, if you are, we're here. All right, so spoilers for that too for the next 5-10 minutes.
Cheetah is in the movie.
Yeah, Cheetah.
But
Chris Pine shows up.
Mandalorian's in it.
One more Star Wars thing before we move on. Star Wars Lego Holiday Special on Disney Plus.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Is it good? You guys watched it?
Yeah. It was so cheesy.
It was so cheesy.
Is it like
so funny?
Is it like Lego, like the Lego Movie type comedy where it's just like dumb?
Well, like
humor.
Like for example, like Poe is like all stressed out about making a shit.
It's like a holiday hand. Like it's.
Let's just guess.
Yip. He's so stressed about making a yip yip, and all the Wookiees are coming for dinner. Like it's funny, and then just like, I guess this is a spoiler, like Ray finds this like time traveling jet.
I didn't watch it yet.
Spoiler. It's like it's I'm walking here to the bed box. Merry Christmas.
How long is it?
45 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, I might watch.
It's all time travel like nonsense.
Maybe I'll watch that today.
And it is
on
like,
Christmas.
Yes. Well, it's nonsense. Like it's purposeful nonsense. So it's good. It's worth a watch. It's fun.
Yeah, like Kylo Ren meets Darth Vader, and he's all awestruck and weird.
Yeah, exactly.
They just do like weird stuff. But I was surprised. I enjoyed it.
Does Boba Fett show up?
No.
I really thought they'd have a Boba Fett moment just because of the Christmas special bit.
Nah. They do. It is Life Day, though. Like, it is all the Ewoks on Life Day.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's good. It is fun. You know what? It is fun.
I'm a big fan of Ewoks. I don't care whatever anybody says.
Like Doolittle. It's fun. Not good.
Jesus. This isn't coming out. So this is coming out on Christmas. So I can tell you guys what was actually purchased.
Oh, yeah.
So 5XL Doolittle shirt.
Who's that?
Women's size. I'm going to let them fight over that big one.
I want that.
It's still not here. It's still not.
A hot commodity.
A lot of it has not shown up yet. And then I wanted to spread the love with Grease 2. So I got a Grease 2 magnet
Did you really?
And also a Grease 2 VHS, original VHS for Grease 2.
Oh my god,
That might be worth some money.
It was worth $5. I bought it. I know exactly how much it's worth. $5 plus shipping.
Really, according to RP, that's the best movie of all time. How is it not more money?
I did not say Espo.
Do you have a VHS player that could play it? Because
actually, at home I may.
I'm sure my brother and his wife will want to get rid of it because they're each getting a Grease 2 item.
Actually, at my parents' house, I think I have Grease 2 on VHS. Grease 1 and 2 on VHS.
Oh, I would have bought it from you for $5.
You guys can come over and watch it.
I'm not selling that for anything.
All the money in the world, you're not getting that.
That's what Disney wants in the lawsuit.
Oh,
Disney's gonna come back with some crazy thing that like we're actually coming against them. They're like, listen, we'll let this drop. But we heard you have a Grease 2 VHS. We don't want any of your money. We don't want your name.
The Smithsonian actually knocked on my door. I told them to get the fuck out of here.
This is a piece of American history.
I will say, too, other stuff that's come out during quarantine now I'm kind of thinking. Clouds on Disney+, very good, very sad.
Doesn't that new Pixar movie come out?
On Disney.
Today. Yeah,
Soul.
Yeah, very
Jamie Foxx. Who's the female in that?
It's not Mulan, which is also on Disney+. That
nobody watched that. Nobody watched that shit.
I think Tina Fey's in Soul, isn't she? I'm
looking it up right now.
You know what some of us did watch, though? A Hallmark Christmas movie.
Jumping into that, we have so much to talk about.
All right, yeah. So
no. We're gonna.
This is a big tease. I know what's going on here.
We have here, listeners at home. By the end of this episode, you will find. We're not going to tell you. We're gonna hold you some suspenseful. And you're gonna find out eventually what Christmas movie.
Yeah, we didn't tell them what Christmas movie we watched, right?
No, but if you look in the show notes, it's 100% there. So just look there. But also some big news for today is Disney Investors Day. Like I know we talk about a lot about Marvel on here.
All right, so let's break it up. Let's sandwich the Disney stuff. You know what I like in the middle of my sandwich? A nice slice of Snyder Cut. Yeah. Let's talk about that shit a little bit. Marvel, you're an expert. What's going on with Cyborg?
Cryborg.
Cryborg. Well, I don't. Whatever article I read and they called him Cryborg made me laugh for like 5 minutes. I don't want to take credit for that. Somebody else coined that Cryborg.
I like Cryborg.
Yeah,
Cryborg. Yeah, the Jewish Cyborg.
Cryborg had a great Hanukkah this year. Actually.
Cryborg, and Amadinjo.
Belgium does not get that joke at all.
He has not reached out to me, but
no.
I want him to
be about Belgium.
All right, so
what do they call Santa in Belgium? Is it Father Christmas? Father Christmas is so funny to me.
Papa Joujou. Great movie, Santa Claus. All right, Marvel. Let's talk about the Snyder Cut. What's going on? Fill us in with what's going on with the Cryborg stuff.
It's the greatest movie of all time. Let us know what's up.
Well, I know. What did he tweet out that WB has finished their investigation on Whedon, and then that was it. He seemed to have celebrated, but nothing. As far as I know, nothing has happened.
So Binge Mode has. Which they're doing, like I've talked about before, they're doing a really good Marvel rewatch podcast. It's fucking awesome. They kind of refuse to talk about Joss Whedon because they are taking his allegations seriously. And like we talked about before on here, nobody else from the Justice League team has spoken out. Like, directors are fucking crazy.
Wonder Woman has come out. Gal Gadot says she had a problem with them, but they squashed it. That was it. Like, she didn't say what it was. She just said, yeah, like, I had a problem with them, and we talked it over, and that was it. Like,
do you think it was
adults?
What? Yeah. Do you think it's like a serious problem, or do you think it's the idea that Snyder's probably sets up this culture on set? Because you got to assume that that's. I've never been in a movie, but like
you haven't.
No, unfortunately, I've tried. I mean, I've never been in a movie where I kept my clothes on. So
hey, you're on my casting couch right now.
So, like, whoever's directing the film probably establishes like, all right, this is how the set's gonna run. Like, this is how things are kind of going to be, and like the producers and all. Joss Whedon comes in, he's going to be different than Scott Snyder. So how much of this is like actual like abuse, for lack of a better harassment, and how much of it is just
crazy director?
Like him coming in and being like an eccentric director and them not being used to that and not liking it.
This guy was never in a movie before either. He comes from Broadway, I think,
Yeah,
from what I remember. So it's like, yeah, it's going to be overwhelming for him. And I don't know. Like we talked about before, I think directors are just weird. Movie sets can be hostile. Like look at what's his name going on tirade. Tom Cruise.
Which
just,
I will say for once,
I don't like Tom Cruise, but he's justified there.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
I like those Mission Impossible movies a lot, and I don't agree with half the shit Tom Cruise says, but I completely agree with what he did. Like,
I mean, he does have a point. Like you're putting people's
Yeah.
livelihoods at risk.
livelihoods, the industry is one slip up can cause that whole movie to be shut down for a month.
How many
you
people
know?
are out of business?
Yeah, look at the Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Batman.
They film every like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
let's get a day in and we'll get back to the schedule.
I really just think this whole Cyborg thing is he hasn't got attention. I think maybe there was some issues on set that he didn't like and was just really sensitive to. But again,
well, they made him darker too. Don't forget.
Yeah. Also, the look.
Supposedly they darkened him up.
The Whedon stuff, they made his CGI look better. Like I showed that side by side comparison to you, and him looking like Justice, him looking at Cyborg looked better than what Snyder initially had. Remember that? He looked more
smoother.
Like,
yeah, he looked less like blocky. I don't know what, because even a Steppenwolf, the new design is fucking terrible. Like I don't know why everyone's so.
Well, Batman,
I just don't know. I don't know. I don't get it.
Drops the F-bomb, so that's why everybody's hyping.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought that was Batman versus Superman.
No. Well, yeah, now he wants to do that. Which
he wants to do another Batman vs Superman cut. Like, will this dude ever just?
He already had his. Like he didn't.
He wants to do another one.
Nobody took over that movie. He had his chance to do the original cut for that. Like I don't understand that.
I think he's just like riding this train, and people don't like Batman vs Superman. He's like, oh, I'm gonna fix it.
Well, yeah. If I could release a movie and then 5 years later, after everybody has made their criticisms, go back and remake that movie.
Which it feels like it's been 5 years since Justice League came out. Like that's how long it feels.
What's Batman vs Superman?
Batman vs Superman is probably 5 years.
I was gonna say that's around 5 years. Okay.
Yeah, that's
so,
like 6 years.
Like if I could fucking do that every time I released a movie, yeah, I would probably be a great filmmaker. But if I need to do that every time, then guess what? I'm not a fucking good filmmaker. 300.
We're gonna be George Lucas.
Dude, he's good. Stick with it, dude.
Do you think the Doolittle director's trying to revise his?
It hasn't been 5 years.
To be honest,
the movie's perfect as it is.
To be honest, that's an amazing movie. So
it hasn't been 5 years.
It's a fun movie.
I'm just waiting for him to get the Oscar nomination.
Wait, so my brother texted me after the last episode, and he was like, I only have one kid, so I can't watch Doolittle.
Yeah, it's definitely
it's for two kids. Yeah, it's for two kids. Do you think there's going to be a Gaghan? Could Steven get cut? Whoever directed Doolittle, I looked it up.
Yes,
it's a bit I'm doing.
Snyder Cut again, live stream coming 2021. That's the big.
It's not coming out until like September
now. March. No, I think it's March, didn't he?
March.
I think he tweeted out March by accident.
What's that?
By accident meaning hyping himself up.
Yeah, that's what he said by accident.
Supposedly.
Good luck. Initial release September 5th, 2021. They're pushing up to March.
Or
maybe he's hyping his cut for something else.
Begin counting days until March. Yeah, so he must have released the March thing. It's a 4-part miniseries. How are we doing this?
It's an hour each. We're going to have We're going to have 4 episodes. We're going to watch them and then live cut them to get live watch them together on our Patreon only, which is launching also in 2025. When we have enough followers, when we own Disney. But all right, segueing past this.
Only Nick's gonna pay for it.
That's true.
And we actually have to pay for Nick.
Like, what other loyal listeners do we have? Like Mark and Brian. Mark's gonna tell us to get fucked.
It's our gift. It's our gift to Nick is that we pay for it for him, and then nobody else.
We love you, Nick. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for everybody.
I think my brother watches or listens to He watches them. That's weird. It's weird. He watches them for a while. He listens to all of them.
Didn't your brother listen to all the Game of Thrones? And he's
never watched Game of Thrones.
Appreciate the love out there.
Yeah, he's something. He's something else. That guy.
But segueing back to what I brought up, is there anything from the Disney Investors Day that anybody's particularly excited about?
I'm excited about them possibly, if they're going to make all these announcements, changing the name because Disney's Investors Day sounds so fucking boring. It's like, did you hear about what happened at Disney's Investors Day?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
I
I love the stock market. What happened?
will say the
Previously
Lion.
recorded them, took them for all their money. That's what happened.
I think the Lion King reboot is just called Lion King, not The Lion King. It's called Lion King.
Like the one that already came out.
They're doing a prequel.
They're doing a prequel.
Yeah, all right. I didn't see any of that. I didn't pay. I only
They
listened to
should
what
call
you
it.
guys sent
They
me.
should call it Lion the King.
I was just saying the
Lion
other
King
day.
before the.
Before the. Yeah,
The
let's-
Lion King live action is probably the only thing that I can remember in recent years that Jon Favreau
Alright,
has
yeah.
touched that wasn't absolute gold.
Yeah,
Well,
boring.
but financially, yes, but
No, I mean, like, I didn't enjoy it.
because we didn't enjoy it because it was the exact same film shot for shot.
There was
And that's-
nothing different about it.
Which to me, that movie for him, from like kind of what it seemed was more just an experiment.
Yeah.
But also, at the same time, you're right. But I still think I would have, like, thought it was cool, except because it was supposed to be so real,
Yeah,
the animals didn't have any emotion. So it was,
Yeah.
like, super just, like, there.
I agree. I 100% agree with that. I really do.
So
And that's why because he said he's like, people love it. Why mess with it? But I would have liked more like the Jungle Book. They added some
Jungle
stuff.
Book was
yeah.
good.
Didn't they add a
They added-
completely new song?
They added. They probably added a new song. They added a new plot to the
Okay.
Jungle Book, which made it much better.
Oh, and plus Jungle Book had Bill Murray. So
I
how
was
do you
gonna
not
say, I
love
had
that?
Bill Murray. I was going to get at that.
The thing from the Investors Day though that I'm probably most excited for, weirdly, is the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special in 2022. Like it's going to be so fucking weird. Like I'm so excited for it. And Secret Invasion will probably be pretty cool.
And everything they announced that's Star Wars.
Yeah,
There's
so
almost
ready for
too
it.
much Star Wars
Except for
announced.
Andor.
at once.
Who
I don't
cares
know.
about
Well, it's
Andor?
the same thing. They announced that stuff, and they announced so much Marvel stuff.
I know. It was
I'm
like
ready-
almost where it was because
It's
I'm
too overwhelming.
I'm of the mentality, which Marvel and RP are a little bit different, where like they announce all that stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool. Tell me about it when it's closer. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I'll worry about it in a couple
So
weeks.
I was like talking to Audra.
a couple
I was
years.
Like, we were on a Zoom with. I was on a Zoom with them too. Like when this. stuff
yeah,
was
making
coming out.
money. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. And I was like talking to them, and they didn't care. And I was like, this is why I love Marvel. I just text Marvel, and me and him like, nerd out about this shit because
Because you're like, guys, this movie's gonna come out in 2024, and I'm like, I'll probably be dead by then. Like, why is this important to me right now?
We're not that lucky. Come on. But no, I agree. Like they already
I
announced
hope
so
I'm
much.
dead by Snyder Cut.
They've already
I'm like-
announced so much for Disney Plus that
Mhm.
we don't even.
I wanted to
Like, we
die while I was
finally
watching
got-
this Hallmark movie.
Jesus Christ. We finally got footage from Miss Marvel, which is the furthest Disney Plus series at this point, aside from like Moon Knight and She-Hulk. So, Marvel, what were you looking most forward to from all of Investors Day?
I'm just excited for TV shows over movies. I think I'm just kind of. I mean, I always say it. I'm exhausted with like all the superhero stuff, but then they announce it, and then I'm like right back.
Yeah.
But I'm excited that's television. Like more, it just gives it more time to flesh stuff out, as we've seen with
You
like
get more out of it
Mandalorian.
too.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just
you watch the movie and then it's done, but you have a whole series.
And I think it's been proven that when Disney Plus does a TV show like this,
it works. Yeah,
have-
and I'm just
like
it's-
Netflix. Daredevil was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke Cage season 1 was very good.
Iron
too.
Fist.
the first half of Luke
Like-
Cage season 1 was good.
I will just I'll hold my judgment for that because they've done like
until
one
2025.
until 2025. But they did the Mandalorian has been fantastic.
But like even
But,
the
like,
original
one-
programming on Disney Plus, I've enjoyed. Like even if it was just like the
Well,
like Imagineering story,
The
you know what I mean? Like
Imagineering story is
like
very good.
they
and
haven't
the,
released a lot of original programming that like I necessarily am going to watch. But everything that I've watched that was original, even if it
Mm.
wasn't,
The Animal Kingdom show was really cool.
like I've been interested in it. So
Yeah,
I think
so
that they like have
they know
a
what
good
they're
idea
doing.
of what they want to
The
do.
thing is, these are two companies. You know, Star Wars. Say what you want about the original trilogy, but I mean the sequel trilogy. But they were successful. Marvel's been super successful, and the I'll hold my judgments. But WandaVision, I am so excited for because of how fucking weird it's going to be.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so excited. I'm excited, so excited about Phase 4 because it's going to be so different.
WandaVision comes out soon, isn't
How
it?
many
Isn't it
shows?
January?
Beginning of January.
See,
But it was a lot of shows.
You're
but
really
I
excited,
I
though.
committed.
Yeah, it's
well, of course
obvious.
I'm excited, dude. I haven't had anything Marvel since last
Yeah.
July.
When does the the Hawkeye and not Hawkeye.
That's still
No, it's
filming.
Hawkeye,
So
yeah.
that's not.
No, not
That's
Hawkeye.
still like
Falcon
Winter,
Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. When's that one?
March 19th.
Cool.
So like as soon as WandaVision ends,
Yeah.
you have like a week or two, and then it's Falcon
Cool.
because WandaVision 6 episodes, 6-hour-long episodes.
No, it looks like with WandaVision they're doing like the sort of like the House of M story. How like she's probably gonna go nuts over Vision dying and
So-
like change reality.
So I read an article in my Entertainment Weekly that
Because he's
Elizabeth-
keeping the magazine industry alive,
Yeah,
baby.
I had a really good deal on it, but Elizabeth Olsen wasn't necessarily super interested in the beginning, and then Feige pitched her what the story was,
Yeah.
and she's like, "I'm really interested
Dude,
in this.
it's-
The character's going to grow. Like that's also too like a big thing of it. It gives us multiple hours to allow these
Have
characters.
It
you-
to
hashes
continue
out
to
two
grow.
characters that you haven't really
Yeah.
seen.
Mhm.
much.
Have you ever read House of M?
No, I have
She
not.
essentially like has
So
an
good.
emotional
Creates her
breakdown,
own
and,
world
yeah, she changes
because-
all of reality,
Yeah.
which is basically like what WandaVision looks like.
That's exactly what it looks like.
and then makes her kids. Just
You know,
basically makes them out of nothing.
like I don't know. WandaVision looks cool, and then Miss Marvel, I
Loki.
think, going to be.
If they
fantastic.
hadn't introduced Scarlet Witch in Ultron, she should have been the like overpowered hero that Captain Marvel became.
yeah,
It makes more sense for her to have that role.
Well,
than
they
it does-
still-
and
well,
for me, for Captain Marvel,
Feige
too.
says that she's the most powerful.
Yeah, they said they're gonna pump her up the next couple of years.
They should. She needs her. I mean, she getting her own show, but she needs her own movie. Like,
Yeah. I hope
mean-
I hope the show isn't like the end of her story.
No,
no
I want her to
way.
be in a lot more movies.
Well, the thing is, like, they lost. If you look at it one way, they lost a lot of. Iron Man's gone. Captain America's gone, and the Hulk's basically gone. Even though he's going to be in She-Hulk,
Hmm
they need these new
I feel like
people. Which you got Spider-Man, and Spider-Man they just re-signed the deal.
Steve Rogers is gone.
Steve, yes, I'm sorry, Steve
Cap
Rogers
is
is gone.
still-
Cap is still.
I guess not, because right, it's Falcon Winter Soldier, not
Yeah.
Captain America. Winter
Which is
Soldier.
him about him becoming Captain America. Which his suit, I think, is going to be
Got a
like
shield.
kind of cool.
It's
yeah.
cool in the comics. Like I was a big fan of
Yeah.
when Falcon became.
There's
Cap.
nothing about the Falcon and Winter Soldier to not be excited about.
I don't know. Winter Soldier got a downgrade.
He
He's
doesn't look cool.
Yeah, he
all
looks
clean
very
cut
cool.
and
maybe that's
cute
to
looking.
maybe that's to upgrade the Falcon. I don't know. But we did watch a Hallmark movie.
yeah, you're not gonna try a ridiculous segue.
No, just
Yeah.
you know.
Speaking
He's-
of Falcons,
He's not very.
let's fly into this Hallmark
No,
movie.
this is
that we-
Like this, weirdly, I feel like this is just such, like the most laid back episode. Is it the couch? Is
I
that why you
think
guys?
it's the
I'm very
couch. Yeah,
comfortable.
guys,
right
we're
now.
on like a
I got my
we're-
foot on the cooler.
instead
Like,
of
I feel amazing
instead
right
of
now.
sitting on a like around a table like we usually would, because Marvel is zooming in.
We're
Shane and I are sitting on like a futon.
socially distanced, of course.
Yeah,
I've-
6 feet apart.
I've never been on a more comfortable futon. Like this is blowing my mind right now.
I'm kind of leaning one way, so my back's a little achy right now. But that's my
Put that-
fault.
put
I
that-
created this issue.
Put that pillow behind you.
If I'm not a pregnant woman, I'll be all right.
So we did watch a Hallmark Christmas movie.
We suffered through a Hallmark Christmas
Before we
movie.
get to
people
that, Mark,
bought sucked.
what's that? Mark?
Hallmark movie. I
What
said you had to buy the Hallmark movie.
I did buy it for $1.
Or Pete spent $1 on it. We all borrowed his $1.
After Shane goes, I'm too lazy to switch Amazon Prime accounts to sign
Yeah.
in and sign
But
out.
then he saw that it was $5.
Yeah, it
He's
was
like,
$5.
I'm not.
I was like,
I'm not
come on.
$5 lazy. I'm $1 lazy, but
Can you
not
just-
$5.
Can you read the synopsis of this movie?
like you
and,
did
like,
with all the?
Will
all right,
anybody
I got it.
pay $5 for this movie?
Okay.
It's absolute ridiculousness.
So, well, if you didn't get it on Amazon, it was $10 on Comcast, which your dad and my dad both would have paid for.
Probably. Wait, so here's.
But did
We'll
your
come
dad
back.
know about this?
Oh, 100%
Oh,
knows
my
about the
dad
movie.
said
Yeah.
my dad did too.
So, all right, so we're gonna go back and talk the Hallmark situation for a second.
So, all right.
Hold on,
Yeah, we're gonna get into
before
the
we
movie.
before we do that. So if you didn't pay for it, it was on the other. Like so, obviously we're not recording this Christmas morning. Spoiler. It was on.
What?
Merry
we
Christmas.
we recorded it last night, Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's
guys.
Christmas Eve.
So my gift, their
But
gift to me was just that they agreed to do a podcast episode. That's it.
It was on Hallmark and I didn't care enough to just watch it when it was on and took a nap instead. So then I had to find a way to watch
Listen,
it.
if I have to watch this horrible movie, I'm not watching it with commercials.
Oh my God, it would have been 2 hours of torture.
But you can, I love that you can
Around
still see
dinner.
you could still see the commercial cuts.
Dude,
Oh, 100%.
The amount of times I moved the cursor to see how much time was left in this movie
There's a lot.
was ridiculous.
There is a lot. I don't ever watch these things on my laptop. I watch this one purposefully on my laptop so I could be like, all right, let me just put this away for a little bit.
And I feel like every time I look, there was still like a half hour left in this movie. I'm like, this movie's never ending.
So these people that are they're probably curious about what we actually watch.
Hold on, because there's a lot that we can talk about that's not this movie. Before we get to that, can we talk about the Hallmark movie that we were going to watch? Because this leads into my dad being an insane human being, right?
The KFC one?
No, You're Baking Me Crazy.
I thought that wasn't a Hallmark.
It is Hallmark. It's not Christmas.
So for those who don't know, so we were going to watch a Hallmark movie called You're Baking Me Crazy or Baking Me Crazy, whatever. Because we have a connection to an actor in said film, which is Marvel's relative. And we were actually going to have him come on the podcast to discuss the
I
film.
don't think we were going to get that, but we
We're
were going to try
to trick him.
So,
Because
I
we're
never
not
met
going to
the
like
guy.
it. I can tell you that much. We were not going
Can
to
I
like
give
it.
the tagline from this movie because it still makes
You're
me laugh.
Baking Me Crazy?
Yeah, it was like about a baking competition. She's like, she tries to win the competition while the competition tries to win her heart.
Oh, wait.
But it's also
what's this
Bacon,
film?
BACON.
Yeah, it's not baking crazy.
Baby!
There's a baby! I like that a lot. There was a baby!
There's a baby in our Zoom.
Mhm.
Little Ollie.
What was his comments on the film? So we weren't supposed to watch that. So
Wait, so
Shane
here's how we
set out-
found. This is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
So my dad, like RP's dad, watches these Hallmark movies all the time. So I'm talking to my father. I'm like, I have to watch a fucking Hallmark movie. And I was like, yeah, we're watching a Christmas one. I think it's called You're Baking Me Crazy. And my dad, like, without even thinking, is like, that's not a Christmas movie. It's more of like a seasonal one. I think it's in the fall. I'm like, wait, what? He goes, yeah, it's not a Christmas movie. So I look it up, and it's absolutely not a Christmas movie. And then when I mentioned this to my dad, he's like, oh, I think that came out last year. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, he knows every fucking one of these Hallmark movies.
So I said to my dad and my mom, goes, oh, which one are you watching? I go, we're watching this one. You know, it's got, this is where I guess I'll just introduce the film. We watched a movie called Merry and Bright. And I go, it's the one with Stephanie from Full House. And my mom goes, oh, I've seen that one. Whatever. And I'm talking to my dad too. And I'm like, he's like, which one did you watch? And I go, oh, it's called Merry and Bright with Stephanie from Full House. He goes, oh, the candy cane one. He said, I saw that. It was good. I liked it. So
read the synopsis.
So the synopsis of this film, Merry and Bright, which I paid $1 for and I forever own on my Amazon Prime, is during the busy Christmas period, Merry and Bright Candy Cane Company owner Kate meets a mysterious man and assumes he's the man her determined mother is trying to set her up with. That's the synopsis of the film. Completely leaves out the fact that this man is not a mysterious man. He is a worker from a recovery
Yeah, so time out. Before we even go to that, before the movie even starts, right? And I know that these things exist. I'm assuming they're like subsidiaries of a larger food company.
Hold on 1 second. For those listening to this on Christmas Day or a couple days after, you have time to watch this film. It'll be on Hallmark on Tuesday, December 29th at 2 a.m.
No, it's Tuesday. It's coming on Tuesday at 2 a.m. I knew that. Yeah, that's how I was going to get it. It's coming on again.
Yeah.
So
did your dad tell you that?
No, I looked it up because I was trying not to pay for it.
So my dad did say to me though, he said, he's like, you know what? I feel like I was ahead of the curve. I've been watching Hallmark movies before they became like really popular. Like
we should have had him on this episode too.
We should have had my dad and Bob's dad because they're clearly the Hallmark kings. But my dad was like,
we should have just let them do the eepisode.
That he watched a Hallmark movie. I'm all right, cool. But so that's the synopsis of this film. It's a terrible, terrible synopsis. 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, directed by Gary Yates. Music composed by Matthew Rogers and screenplay by Karen.
Yeah, because let me tell you, I was paying attention to
and Mary-Kate Andrews.
The score.
None of these people mean anything.
My thing is, before we even get to the film, right? And that's what I'm saying. I'm sure they exist. I'm sure they're subsidiaries of larger candy companies. But like, what is the fucking logistics? What's the business plan of a strictly candy cane company
They're the candy cane capital of the world.
I know, yeah, I know they're the candy cane capital of the world. But like the beginning of the movie, you find out, yeah, the candy cane company's not doing well. No shit, it's not doing well. You focus on 2 months of the year. That's the only time you're fucking valid and useful.
Well, the thing with candy cane companies is that you need a CEO with ginormous knockers.
I don't know that the grandmom had ginormous knockers.
No, but Stephanie Tanner definitely did.
Oh, that was the one good thing. I'm glad it was post boob job. Definitely
So this movie, basically, long story short, this movie is about candy cane company that specializes in strictly candy canes, and they're curious as to why they have a failing business model, because they have not decided to branch out anything.
Because they only focus on candy canes.
But also the biggest thing is that Kate has been the CEO for 1 year. They've given her 1 year.
Wait, so before, and then at one point, she says, oh man, she said it at one point. She was like, give me a couple years to see how things go. And I'm like, how long? Oh, no, at the very beginning, she goes, Marion Bright hasn't turned a profit the last couple years. I wrote it down. I was like, how the fuck are you in business? You've gone 2 years without making a profit. What are you talking about? Like, how does that work? This isn't – I don't care if it's Hallmark or not. That's not how businesses work.
Like, who is ordering candy canes in – I don't know.
July?
April?
Sociopaths.
Anytime after the ones that are left over that you buy at Walmart, like the next morning.
In the movie, she's like, yeah, our busy time is like from August to December.
August,
yeah. She says our busy times has been the last 2 months or something like that.
Wait, to be fair, people start gearing up for Christmas early. Like, if you look at Disney, like, they start their Christmas stuff.
Yeah, do you know the last time I had a candy cane? I couldn't fucking tell you.
I buy them, but I bought them
downstairs
for work. But so here's the other thing. She goes, yeah, our busiest day is Christmas.
December 26th.
What, December 26th? I'm like, no, it's not. You're not making the candy canes on December 26th. Like, that shit's made and out there. Like, my whole mentality around this movie had nothing to do with them falling in love and all the dumb shit that you know is going to happen with a Hallmark movie. There's no reason to talk about any of that. We know what happened. He reluctantly comes to save the company. She doesn't want to agree with him. Over the course of the film, they happen to start to love each other. He learns the way she's looking at it. She learns the way he's looking at it, and then happy ever after. It's every Hallmark movie ever.
That is.
I want to talk about
getting into spoilers.
I want to talk about all because
about.
Hey, if you're gonna watch it on December 29th at 2 a.m., I apologize. Enjoy your 2 hours. From 2 to 4. So it's going to be the best 2 hours of your life.
So that's over a week from now from when we're recording in real time. This must not be a popular Hallmark movie if it's only
played on Thursday at 4.
So let's walk through the film like we do with Indiana Jones.
I don't want to do that. It's going to take way too much time.
Listen,
it's not worth it.
Here's how you can sum it up. If you've seen one Lifetime movie,
plot-wise, it's the exact same thing as every other Lifetime movie. Or
it's small town. It's the same shit. Small town.
The only thing they switched is that she's from the small town.
But what am I supposed to do with all of these notes?
So we can talk about the notes, but like I have notes. The dog rocks. Yeah, the dog's fucking sweet. That's a note.
Okay,
that was the best plot. The subplot with the mom and the dog.
My first note is that they treat candy canes like a fine delicacy.
Dude, I said that when she was like having
a little piece.
Yeah,
she was having a rough day, and she was like candy cane, and she was like, oh yes, like it was a shot of tequila or something.
Exactly.
And but nobody at any point just like takes a candy cane, like bites a piece off. They all like break off a little bit of it, like you'd swirl your wine and sniff it before you like. Oh,
I had one major problem with this movie, and it was the way the investor.
That it wasn't made.
Yes, but the way the investor eats.
Yes.
You mean Royce Rutherford? The 45-minute plot solution?
Dude, the way he puts food in his mouth just bothers me. He always touches it with his teeth first instead of just throwing it in his mouth.
At one point, she makes these chocolates that are no bigger than a Hershey Kiss. Maybe smaller. And everybody eats them one bite at a time. Not like just eating the whole thing at once. They all take like the littlest bite. Like, let me break this in half. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
So then we move on to, okay, they go to this inn that apparently is like the bee's knees. It's a hotel. It's a shop.
Guy who runs it's got no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, so he was plugging in his monitor. That's like a note I made. Like, he was underneath his desk. The guy rings the bell. I'm sorry.
And for the record, this movie came out last year. So it's not like he's plugging in his monitor on a movie that came out in 2003, and like that was a normal thing that people did all the time.
So as where the synopsis leads us to is that Kate's mom says, "Oh, I'm setting you up with this."
We're really gonna do this minute by minute, aren't we?
No. But I'm jumping into to the biggest.
Because you're at like the 3-minute mark right now.
But my note says, "Wow, how embarrassing!" LOL. But
I wrote classic person mix up.
Yeah.
He's at the hotel. She's at the hotel. She thinks he's the guy who her mom setting her up with.
But also,
he knows who she is.
But also, how don't you introduce yourself? Hey, I am so and so from so and so company.
No, you jump right into. We're gonna get dinner. We're gonna fix these things. I seen you.
I'm here.
I recognize you from. Yeah, I recognize you from your website. I know your picture. Like, that's fucking weird.
So then they take him to the candy canes.
But then she doesn't wait until the next morning to explain that why the classic mix-up. Did they ever get breakfast? Nobody knows. Like, she just waits until they're walking through the company after she's clearly said, "Hey, like, I was right then and there." So, like, oh my god, I didn't recognize.
It's a Hallmark situation. There's so many classic, like typical Hallmark situations. So like 1, the fucking classic person mix-up. 2, when he's now in this small town, she goes, meet some of the people, see the town. Like, oh, I see where this is going. He's going to love it here. He's going to want to start his life here. He's from New York. Spoiler, they go to New York. Fucking not New York. That place looks nothing like New York.
Dude, there was like, have you ever been to New York around Christmas time? There's a million people. There was like nobody on the street.
Also,
This is COVID New York.
Sidewalks. That's fucking not what New York looks like.
One of the big things about this movie, Marion Bright, is that they have the best candy canes. Has anybody ever had a bad candy cane?
Yeah, those are girthy ass candy canes. That's the first thing I noticed. They were like the thickest.
What I was talking about, how like she hands it to her like it's a shot. She's like, mini candy cane, and it was like the size of my hand. I was like, that is not a fucking mini candy cane.
Candy cane. So
typical babbling mother who's trying to hide the gift.
So, because now this is where I start to have a bunch of issues with the movie, the actual plot of the movie. So, the guy's pissed that he has to go to this candy cane company to fix their problems because he's like, it's a fucking candy cane company, right? At one point, she says, "You don't think a candy cane company is worth your time?" And I wrote, "I agree. It's fucking absolutely not worth this dude's time to be going to a candy cane company. Who cares?" Then he's like, "All right, well, if we want to like turn it around, she doesn't want to go to an alternate supply source. She doesn't want to lay anybody off. So it's like, all right, we need to come up with something else that you can sell, like another product." And so she's like, "Ooh, I have just the right thing." And so she takes him into another part of the factory, and she's like, "These are called barber poles. They're candy canes, only they're not a hook." I'm like, "I still a fucking candy cane. You're still just giving us a candy cane."
It's the same exact.
Well, that's the thing. She hired his company, right? Where the mom did?
No, the board did.
Okay, that's where I always got lost. So it's like, this guy's supposed to be coming in and fixing your company, and she's just like, so.
Well,
she's like, "Oh, we need an alternate product. I got just the fix. Candy cane, no hook."
Well, the weirdest part too is that, like, not the weirdest, but one of the things is clearly they got off to a bad note, and then she overheard his comments that he made on the phone that, like, "I don't want to fucking work in this dingy, ringy candy cane company." And then at the first sign, and he's like, "What about this idea?" And she doesn't like it. She's like, she brings up the old comments, like a tip, like, what the fuck? Like, well, I asked to start on a fresh note and then just throw the chip back in the guy's face. Like, that ain't fair. But then I said, but also, who talks about a business that they're working on like that while in the fucking company? Like, this guy is
not a great employee.
This guy,
he only works for the job. The twist that comes out is that his mom owns the company.
That is a twist. Spoiler alert.
And then later on, it sounds like his mom wants to fuck him. She's like, "You're still my number one recovery expert."
So to be clear to the audience that didn't watch this movie at 2 a.m., the Candy Cane Company brings in an outside, consultant to help the company be more like prosperous, to sell more. And then this guy's name is
Gabe. So Gabe. How do you not know that they're related? His name is Gabe Carter. And you would have been talking to his mom, whose name is Mrs. Carter.
No, she had nothing.
She didn't. That's
she had nothing.
The company,
but doesn't she say like oh, whatever her name, Carter, is your mom? Like, she knows her.
Well, her pussy is being very stimulated. She's not thinking.
So there's all right. So
She
let me
can't
run.
think
Let me
because
run
she's
through.
so
'Cause
sopping wet.
basically, they figure out we have to have an alternate, like product idea.
Hold on. So I'm opening up a Bud Light Lime from the day I moved in, courtesy of Totally
In
Tees.
July.
In July, and it's December.
It's gonna taste
There we go.
like magic. So now the whole thing is like, all right, we have
Wait,
to.
did Marvel freeze?
No,
He's
yeah.
just sitting still.
Oh.
He's just sitting still
There's just
again.
nothing going on.
He's just as bored about this movie as I was watching it.
Was I supposed to be riveted by this Bud Light Lime? Oh.
So then, the entire middle 45 minutes, possibly to an hour of this film, is the idea that like we need to come up with another product, and they're going to come up with chocolate. So I have a couple other things, right? There's a whole backstory about how Jodi Sweetin's character, Kate, had to like come home from California where she was a marketing executive to run her grandmom's candy cane store, which sounds to me like a different Hallmark movie, right? Where she comes home and she's like, I don't want to be here. I have a boyfriend. And then she's like, oh, well, we're not going to work out. I need to run my grandmom's candy cane company.
Can we take a minute to speak upon the boyfriend? So her and Gabe go because the dumb monitor guy from the inn recommended that this guy's a fucking moron. He recommended the restaurant where she got proposed to.
Stanton's. I'm really mad that I know all,
all of this.
all of this.
And the worst part is he's not even looking at notes. He just knows it off the cuff.
This is the most I've paid attention to a movie.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
so
they
long.
go to
Yeah, the most I've heard shit
So
about
they
it.
go to Stanton's, and you're expecting Stanton's to be, oh my God, that's where she was expecting to get engaged and didn't, or found out he was getting cheated on. All that happened was that she got proposed, she said no, and then a year later, her ex-boyfriend is already engaged again.
Yeah, I wanted to say that too. He already engaged again.
They had, if you have a ring,
That's so funny.
I might as well use it.
it's like, I kind of like you. You the same ring
And then,
size.
spoiler alert, they get married like a year.
Yeah, a year.
What?
In Marion Bright, a year is the exact proper courting
I would say a year. I would say a year and a half is fine. It's a fine timetable.
I mean,
I'd say that.
only a jerk off gets married before like a year and like 7 months,
Yeah.
something like that.
Like that.
Unless you're running the hotel, and then it takes you 4 years to realize you shouldn't buy a mountain bike, you should propose. That guy's
no,
dumb.
he wanted
He's
to get
great.
like,
and he got a
pillows or
necklace
something.
too.
He wanted to get pillows or
Well,
whatever.
he got her the necklace. I mean, infinity literally says forever.
The
guys.
guy from the store.
So fun fact about it,
Guys, I'm just kidding. I love this movie.
Yeah. Shane's top 10. I want to say so last year for Christmas, I bought Audra an infinity necklace. So I was like, oh, it was on sale, but it was nice. it was. I thought it was nice. And I sent it to my sister, and she was like, yeah, I think she'll like that. And we're sitting there like 2 weeks before Christmas, and we're watching The Office, and
You're watching Marion Bright.
yeah, Marion Bright world premiere. We're sitting there with our
Yeah,
popcorn.
His dad recommended it.
Yeah.
They shut everything down. They missed a wedding for it. My birthday was that day. They told me they couldn't come.
We were busy, I told you. So The Office, Jim gives Pam a heart necklace, and she goes, the girls don't like heart jewelry necklace. She didn't buy it for herself, talking about when Michael's having the affair with the lady from the like Dave and Buster's or whatever.
Yeah.
And I go like, what do you like? Do you like that? And she goes, no, Audrey goes, no, I don't like heart necklace. I was like, well, what about like the infinity sign? She goes, no, I don't like this either. And I go, well, and then so she felt bad. And so from time to time, if she doesn't wear it, I make fun of her for it. But this motherfucker is dumb. And I got the infinity. He is fucking dumb.
They're all dumb.
Whoa.
This guy comes in and all he says is, hey, you should probably try to sell chocolate. She has a whole fucking recipe book full of chocolate ideas from her grandmom. And her whole thing is like, all right, I need to keep this thing so it's like close to my grandmom. So then she decides to make chocolate, right? First off, I don't understand why. He's like, he wants him to sell chocolate. So she takes him and shows him a picture of her grandmom. Like that changes the fact that he's like, why don't you fucking just sell chocolate?
I had a problem with that scene too because it was kind of creepy.
Whoa. You're judgmenting? Judgmenting your favorite movie?
She opens the recipe book and it's like like a clearly photoshopped like younger Jodi Sweetin with like an old lady. And he's like, huh, look at you.
I want to talk on one more thing before dinner ends, before they walk to the car, where she's expecting a kiss and there's no kiss. She starts associating the heart. She said, the heart just knows things that you can't read from a spreadsheet.
Sorry. I said so funny.
I don't know.
I had to sneeze.
Is it the dog?
I don't know. It's something.
All
I
right.
sneeze. It's like
All
fucking
right.
my nose.
So
I don't
anyway,
know.
she says
I mean,
that
just shut the fucking show down over here.
the heart the heart can tell you something that spreadsheets and paperwork can't tell you. Like, what are you?
At the
Are you
same-
using your heart to make a business
At the
decision?
same
Like,
time,
what is going on
she
here?
is. But at the same time, right? That's her motto. His motto is he's never been anywhere ever, apparently. And it seems like if he's anywhere,
but he's also been everywhere.
if he's anywhere long enough, he fell in love. Like that's really like the whole thing.
Because he
This
tells his
guy's-
mom that he doesn't get work done because he's feeling festive.
He's so lonely that just because the people in this town are nice to him, he's like, this is the greatest place I've ever been. They let me hit the button on the tree ceremony, which also was apparently a big deal. And she just goes, I'm not hitting it. Hey, Gabe, who nobody fucking knows, why don't you come up here and do it?
But they all cheered.
And they're like, yeah, Gabe!
Also,
there's probably
she's
some like fucking 40-year-old guy who's been like, I lived here my whole life. They never let me touch the button.
It's like the Whitey Duvall moment in Crazy Nights. Yeah, it's
Also,
like,
she's
shit.
a real big show off too. She's like, I'm so happy to be here pressing this button for the second time.
Number 2.
Eat a dick, all you other people.
But what you guys didn't know, the first time she pressed the button with her ginormous knockers.
So halfway through the movie, right? Legitimately 45 minutes of the movie, it's such an issue. How are we going to save this company? What are we going to do? And Gabe comes out with the clear, we're writing this as we go type situation where he's like, well, what about Royce Rutherford, who I know? He's rich and he'll invest in your company and then you'll be successful forever. I'm like, where the fuck's this guy been the entire fucking film? Like, isn't that what you lead with? Hey, I know Royce Rutherford. He'll get us an option. So they start baking these chocolates because fucking chocolates are the solution. Obviously, you're a candy company. Just make some fucking chocolate. And then the rest of the movie, and I'm going to go back. I have the time marks where I stopped caring. From an hour to an hour and 7, completely spaced out. No idea what happened. With 12 minutes left, I wanted everybody in the film to die. I wrote that down. 12 minutes left. I hope they all die. Right? But I said, I'm very confused as to why they made the pitch to Bermex if when they offered to help them convert to a chocolate company, she then goes, I don't want to do that. Why would I convert to
Bob,
you fucking made the pitch.
Bob,
You tuned out.
they're a Candy King company.
Yeah, they're a Candy King company.
Then why make a chocolate company? Why make the pitch to a chocolate company?
So-
And also, now, since we're at the end of the movie, because fuck this thing, and I don't really want to talk about it anymore. Since we're at the end of the movie, her big fucking solution, I have this with 75 question marks. The big solution is we're going to make flavored candy canes. Like, they don't fucking exist already?
Wait,
You're
That
fucking
made
breaking
me laugh too. That was like a big.
Wait, and then
Wait,
she
wait,
was like,
they're all over.
They
she was
are,
naming
they are,
all the
yeah.
flavors. She was like, we either made key lime pie for St.
St.
Patty's Day. Who the
Don't
fuck
wait,
wants
wait,
key
wait.
lime
Don't
pie for
act
St.
like you
Patty's
don't know
Day?
the word for word. This is your favorite
It was
movie.
key lime
I
pie.
know,
It was Gingerbread.
Jesus.
And then she goes, we even made pumpkin spice for Halloween.
That was
And then she's
mine.
like, that was my idea.
So I want to say two things.
Also, Jodi Sweetin's hair makes her look like a character from Mad Men for the entire film.
I do want to say, how do you make candy canes? That's a really great question, right?
That's best left up to the suits in Washington, my
Yeah.
dude.
And then there's one more thing that I had a problem with. Two more, actually.
I have one
so
more
this
issue.
mom,
that we can
the
come
mom
back to.
throughout the whole movie got this rescue dog to give to her for Christmas, whatever. And she decides to give to her the dog at this big Christmas party.
All right, so let's. I
do with that dog.
have a dog issue too. The dog looks super awesome in a bow tie. Super good boy. They did a great job casting this dog. She gives her the dog, and then Kate, Jodi Sweetin's character, and her huge knockers, re-gifts the dog immediately.
She's like, I don't want
Almost
this.
as if to say, I don't have a present for you, Mom, because she goes, oh, here's your present. Merry
But,
Christmas. Like,
Bob,
I haven't been shopping
you-
for you at all. I've been trying
Bob,
to fuck this student forever.
It's like
Bob,
when somebody
Mom had
gives
a
you a
connection.
gift and you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
I am an
shit.
expert on this movie. She gets the dog. The dog clearly does not like her and wants the mom.
Mhm.
Well,
I agree with
what-
her giving the dog back. It's the way she does it, and it makes it sound like she never had a gift for her mom to begin with.
Wait.
And she's like, I got you this dog that you just gave me.
Hold on, boys. In all seriousness, I personally think the dog didn't like her because the dog's head was stuck beneath her ginormous knockers and couldn't breathe, so she had to give it back.
With knockers the entire time.
I'm more impressed with ginormous. I think that's a great way to describe
But
it.
also, the friend that was dying to get engaged just casually shows her best friend the ring. like, oh my God, he proposed, and Kate was just like, yeah,
Cool.
good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm in a really big chocolate dilemma right now.
Right,
I don't have time for this conversation.
You just made me think of something. So I one problem. I remember watching this, and there was like 2 minutes left, and I'm like,
And you
wow,
hating that it was
I
over?
was like, they're still not together. There's
You're
2
like,
minutes left.
let me start from the
And
beginning.
then there was like 30 seconds left in the movie, and he finally proposes. And I'm like, this is the ring that like a
Which
hot shot New York.
also,
yeah, dude,
guy
that ring
gets
wasn't
a
that ring
tiny
wasn't
ring.
impressive.
my ring was bigger than that. Like,
He had to buy in that small
Well,
town.
they say 6-year salary, right?
the 6-year salary. What are you saying, Marvel?
He had to buy it in that small town, so they're
That's
trying to
true.
have like a big, fancy jewelry store.
I was like, he's supposed to be like a big shot New Yorker guy.
I will say that was the worst proposal ever. Oh, we just got the new peppermint patties in. Check the bag. And she's
She's
like,
like,
this bag?
This bag right here.
With this little box?
Before
That looks like it holds a ring?
Yeah.
Like this box?
before that.
I'm kind of disappointed that she didn't go in the bag and there was a candy cane with the ring on it, like a
that would
finger.
have been better.
She picks up the box and then he takes it out of her hand and opens it. I'm like,
He's
what
like,
the fuck?
Yeah.
no gives you
Yoink.
backsies.
Yoink. Let me just open this bad boy up real quick. It would have been better if there was a candy cane in there and she ignored the ring and it was like, ooh, my favorite. Had such a rough day.
This is my 6th one today.
Careful, you are in recovery.
Going back, because I'm looking at my notes again. She goes and pitches the chocolate, right? And then they're like, this chocolate's great. We want to change. We want to help your company out. It would just be Merry and Bright Chocolate Company instead of Merry and Bright Candy Canes. That's where she draws a line. And then Gabe's like, this is a good deal, which it is. It's going to fucking save your company. And she goes, I don't think you know me at all. And at that point in the movie, there's around 12 minutes left because my next note is 12 minutes left. I hope they all die. And I literally said, I don't fucking know this person either. Like, you just spent 45 minutes of my time establishing this chocolate part of your company. And then when they're like, yeah, this is a great idea. Chocolate's really good. Let's do it. You're like, this isn't what Mama fucking Merry and Bright would want.
He's like, oh, this is a great idea. Like, it'll be super easy. I can get machinery real cheap. You're going to be a millionaire. She's like, nah, never mind.
Yeah, ew. Candy canes all day. Nothing else.
I know what'll save this. Fucking sugar plum candy canes.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck a sugar plum tastes like. So then, my only other big issue, aside from the fact that this movie exists, I do write, no one wants candy canes year round. The candy cane business model still makes 0 sense to me, which that is just going to continue. But on 2 different occasions in this movie, people slow dance to Christmas songs, which I've never seen in my entire life. The first time it's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and they're slow dancing. And the second time, I think it's White Christmas. And the whole thing's bullshit. And that's where I'm at.
I have one problem we didn't talk about. I didn't like the way the mom was talking to the dog.
She was rude.
Like,
but I think
well, yeah, she was rude.
I think the dog liked it.
But I didn't like how she was talking to the dog, and then the dog, she would take that as like a response from the dog. I think the mom is psychotic.
She was definitely crazy. She's been living by herself for 4 years. She announced it. Don't need you involved.
The one thing about all these movies is they always hit it like the backstory. Like, oh, there must have been like a dirty divorce. Like, oh, you called your dad? You called your fucking dad?
He lives in Europe now? I'm like,
Yeah.
What kind of like Spanish model is he fucking?
So, you know, for the listener out there, you might be confused. So were we. That really happened. That's kind of really it. There wasn't really much that happened in the movie.
If you've seen a Hallmark movie, you've seen this one.
It literally was.
So it literally was like as much as I am an expert on this movie, it was rough to get through it.
It is the cookie cutter.
As much as I've watched it 6 times, yeah, I did enjoy it.
It is the.
I think, they just know that model now, like how sci-fi like makes Sharknado and all those cheat.
Yeah.
They know what they are.
Oh, can we do a Sharknado episode?
No.
I think that's how Lifetime is just like, all right, let's pump out these generic Christmas movies. People will watch them. Like they're almost in on a joke.
I agree, Marvel. It's the cookie cutter thing. They know what works for them, and people watch it. Like my dad and Bob's dad are lined up for Merry and Bright 2.
It's Chocolate's Revenge.
Or no,
it's like Calabar.
Sorry.
Merry and Bright 2, Chocolate's Revenge.
It's Merry.
Somebody comes in and they're like, oh, no, there's a shortage of sugar cane. We can't make candy canes anymore. We have to make chocolate. And Jodi Sweetin's like, I will not.
Me and my knockers will not make chocolate.
Over my dead body.
Over my dead knockers. I will say, how can we ignore the easiness of Merry and Brighter and Merry and Brightest? Like, it's there for
There's
that.
absolutely gonna be a
Wait,
sequel.
or like
Yeah.
like the Dumb and Dumber sequel, Merry and Brighter.
Yeah.
There you go. There's one.
But that's kind of all I think we have to say about this fucking terrible
All
movie.
I have to say is 10 out of 10. Guys, go watch it.
I have this on loop at my house.
Guys, if you just watch another Hallmark movie
So
and assume it's this one and you're fine. It's the same thing.
So before we leave,
Listen to this and you're like, I don't remember there being any chocolate. That's fine. It's everything else worked out the same. They didn't like each other and they did. Now they're married.
before we leave the podcast,
There's a cute dog.
before we leave the podcast, what is Marvel? Starting with you. What is one candy cane flavor that you personally would like to see?
Chocolate.
Chocolate, yeah.
Say chocolate.
No,
Chocolate.
oh, like vodka.
Like a vodka candy cane.
An alcoholic-
Peppermint vodka candy
Ooh,
cane.
that'd be. I'm sure they could do that because they do with ice though.
They probably have.
Could
it,
you do like a vodka infused candy cane? Because then you could make hot chocolate and put the candy cane in there, and as it melts,
Which,
it makes
as
your
they
hot
do in
chocolate.
Merry and Bright.
Yeah, but that's going to get you fucked up.
So they actually, in Sweden,
Make a Kahlua-
they have
Kahlua
alcoholic candies, like filled with alcohol. Bill brought them back. They're pretty good.
They have them.
You can get them here. They're
You
not
get them
good.
here. They have like
It's like chocolates and it's filled with like some kind of
whiskey,
liqueur.
Yeah, like
They're not
Mariners. I've had them before.
Because it's like, ooh, chocolate, this tastes good. And then you break the
it
seal. and
explodes whiskey into your
Yeah,
mouth, and you're not ready for it.
I hate when something just explodes in your
If
mouth.
it's calm, it's fine, but not whiskey.
Shane, what's a flavor you would like?
I don't know. Who cares? Keep fucking key lime
Bob?
for St. Patty's Day.
Shane strictly wants peppermint candy canes made by the Marion Bright Company.
No,
He wants to keep them in business. He doesn't know it's a movie.
I only want. See, my life is too fast paced for candy canes. I like those,
wow.
those barber poles.
Oh, the bar.
Yeah, I don't got time for a hook.
Is this Shane's best episode ever?
Yeah.
I like how I started recording. Marvel says I never talk.
Yeah. Put this motherfucker on a couch and he's ready.
Little did he know this is my favorite movie of all
It's just gonna
time.
be Shane on the Instagram post. It's just gonna be Shane's face.
In the group text.
No, we're gonna leave Jodi Sweetin and then replace the guy
Oh, yeah,
with his
perfect.
face, and that's it. Marion Bright.
The group text, Shane's like, oh, Marion Bright, this is gonna be brutal. And secretly, he's like
Mine.
calling his mom. I tricked him. We're doing it.
No, I was calling your dad.
My candy cane flavor.
You're on fire.
Yeah, he
We're both
is.
sweating a lot.
I
It has a
know.
lot to do with it.
I'm so comfortable and relaxed on this couch.
My candy cane flavor would be Tide Pods. So that's.
I'd rather have a candy cane flavored Tide Pod though.
Yeah.
They just look so juicy. I want to bite one.
This time that
That's next year's Hallmark movie. She's like, I'm not making detergent in anything but a pot.
if it's a Tide Pod, it's
I
gonna
don't-
look like these huge knockers. That's
I don't care if business is going to go under. I'm not making it in anything that's not pod shaped.
I haven't made a profit in 7 years. Just give me another 7. I'll think about it.
all right. Marvel. Before we go, is there anything you would like to add? Anything you would like to discuss before we go?
Watch Fargo.
So yeah, you're really into this.
No one talks about that show.
I
feel
have
like
DVR'd it
it's
because I'm a fan of the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. So I DVR'd. I just never got into it, but I
just
know
watch
the season
season
was
one.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, right now Chris Rock, which is fine, but season 1 is like a mass. It's one of those shows that I feel like kind of came and went. No one talked about because I remember watching. I'm like, have you watched Fargo? No one watched it.
So here's the thing: when you ask that question, do people say no? But have you seen Marion Bright?
Yeah, well, that's and I say yes.
Surprisingly, yes, I have.
He said, "Is that the movie with the huge knockers?"
I've seen every Jodi Sweetin classic.
It's like, hey, have you watched Fargo? No, I haven't. Oh, well, what about, like, have you seen Shawshank or Gone with the Wind or The Godfather? No, but Marion Bright
Marion
is
Bright's really
constantly playing in my household.
I will say
Definitely in that
I
conversation.
used to hate Stephanie, and from Full House, obviously, because we talk.
This movie would be better if it was DJ. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm a big
James
fan of
Cameron.
both of them, honestly.
Would it be
They're both
super
attractive.
religious if it was her though?
She was in another one that she was
She's
addicted
in
to
a
shoes. We almost watched that one.
She's in a bunch of Hallmark
Oh,
stuff.
I did see
She's
that.
a big
Yeah.
Hallmark person.
Like,
I don't know that
She's like, if you listen to Hallmark Radio, because on Sirius, that's the only
time out.
Christmas one.
Let's go back. You said, do you listen to Hallmark Radio?
Yeah.
Which implies that I didn't know that Hallmark Radio existed
I didn't know
until
that was a
13
thing
seconds
either.
ago when you just said that.
So-
and two, have you listened to Hallmark Radio?
So time out. I'm gonna explain it. Don't interrupt me so I can explain it. It's
Okay.
very, very, very short.
I'll write notes because I'm going to have questions.
So for those out there that don't know, my family has a flower shop. I was
also,
just driving around
to try and help the flower shop.
You promised not to interrupt him.
I know, but there's a joke to be made to not, because the flower shop is struggling a little bit. A guy came in and told his grandfather, maybe you could start selling chocolates. And he said, no, absolutely fucking not. We are a flower shop and a flower shop only.
He actually picked him up by his shirt and his pants and threw out the door after he asked
Said
him.
the door jingled. It was a whole thing.
So anyway, I'm driving this and I'm driving one of the flower shop's van. And
I got it down.
all right,
I
and
must strip my beer. I'm thinking
Shirt-
about the shirt pants. It's just the whole idea that everything can be solved by making chocolate, but nobody wants to do it. I really want that to be an ongoing bit.
somebody should sell DC Comics.
Seriously, I heard Scott Snyder put a ton of chocolate in the new movie.
Anyway, I was driving around and for whatever reason, the AM and FM radio don't work, but the Sirius satellite does. And I wanted to listen to some Christmas music. And I Googled Christmas music on Sirius, and apparently the Hallmark channel is the only one that has Christmas music. So I listened to the Hallmark channel.
So Hallmark channel
70. I
Just
believe.
plays Christmas music, though.
Right now. Yeah.
Right now, yeah. All right. So it's not like a Hallmark channel where they
yeah.
like discuss how great of a film Merry and Bright is.
I'm
and it's Oscar. It's Oscar quality.
But
I heard this podcast is being broadcast exclusively on the Hallmark channel.
Yeah.
yeah, fuck you,
On
Disney.
Christmas Day, yeah. Come in,
So,
show me the money, Disney.
So I'm gonna have to post that screenshot.
Disney's gonna fucking come after us.
We're gonna be so screwed.
Yeah, we know.
I put so many songs in here without copyright.
I'm so happy that we're at the end of this so I can talk about the fact that we never trademarked our name.
They're gonna end up
But
owning
anyway,
the previously recorded, and we're gonna have to
song-
come out with a new one recorded beforehand.
We recorded
Could
this
be
once.
So anyway, each song was introduced. I thought it wasn't each song, but each song was introduced by
Cameron Bure.
Candace Bure,
How many?
Creme Brulee.
How many?
Candace Creme Brulee.
which is DJ, and she's I gotta admit, ugly on Full House, but she's a smoke bomb now.
Well, she was like 12.
DJ was ugly?
She was like 12 on
didn't
Full
like
House.
DJ. I'd never liked DJ.
I was also young. I was young.
No.
When I was-
Aunt Becky was the bee's knees, but
Oh,
we all know she's a
100%.
convict. She's a convict.
Yeah,
now.
but she was getting her kid, and I wish I was.
Can you say you wouldn't do the same exact thing if you had money and connections?
I would
Come
absolutely
on.
be.
Oh, I did meet
Come on.
Uncle Jesse.
Let
I
her
did
go.
meet John Stamos.
What'd you meet
Let her
John
go.
Stamos?
And yeah, I met John Stamos in Disney World.
She sucks
was-
dick.
So we were down there for Christmas the one year.
John Stamos still looks the same.
Yeah.
He's sexy. We were down in Disney and they were doing the parade, and for the Christmas parade they were filming it, so they obviously stopped at points. And he got out of his thing and went up to a guest there with special needs, and they were like, "You got to get back in, John." He's like, "No, hold on." a
Fuck
second."
off.
He's like, "Fuck off."
He said, "Listen, Mickey, previously
special-
recorded owns you now. I'll talk to whoever I want."
So
And that
real
special
shit though.
needs child's name was RP.
Yeah. I feel like I should cut that.
I don't want you to.
I feel like that might be offensive, but anyway, he got out and spoke, and spoke to the special needs person, and they told him whatever, get back. And we were right next to them, and he was like, he came over and talked to us too, real quick. But it was really nice. It was really nice.
Is 2-part Disney episode the most memorable Full House episode?
Yeah, it's got to be 100%.
I'm not saying it's the best because I'd have to go back and watch them again. But
Well,
is it the most memorable? Because I obviously
it's that episode and the
wedding.
the
Jesse's wedding.
Jesse's wedding, but also was in like
Mykonos?
Mykonos, yeah, from like from The Office. Like,
I don't know if that was. Yeah.
That's not, but that's why I recall it. Like
And when they get the donkey's good too.
yeah, the
What
Greek
the fuck's
version
his name?
of
When he
of
sells-
Uncle Jesse,
he sells
and he
machine-
almost steals Aunt Becky.
Yeah.
But also the one where the grandpa dies.
That's a bad one.
That's
The
that's one
cement
that
truck coming through the kitchen's a good one.
No, I specifically
It's the man through the kitchen. We should do a Full House episode.
Remember when I almost bought the Full House on Amazon?
And it's all fucking on something?
But it was the house.
Yeah.
I almost bought it. And I love Full House. But the grandpa died, and I remember just like eating my SpaghettiOs, watching it for the first time, and like stopping eating it and just bawling my eyes out. It was so sad, dude.
It's super like emotional at the end when like Michelle's upset and she hugs Jesse.
Full House.
Jesse.
Cheese stick, completely G-stick. But I absolutely love Full House.
Yeah, it's TGI. That whole TGIF lineup was phenomenal.
Full House, Boy Meets World, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Step by Step.
Step by Step.
What else was on? Sabrina Teenage Witch was TGI Friday.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the height of my childhood.
Best TGI Friday
was Family Matters, TGI Fridays.
Yeah, Urkel.
Yeah.
Urkel. It was just Urkel. Hey, you watch Urkel last night?
Best TGI Friday show?
It's gotta be Boy Meets World, right?
It's probably Boy Meets World for
Is
me.
it the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Shane?
Fuck you.
Did you watch the reunion?
No.
I feel like you should have.
Yeah.
I think Urkel was my favorite.
I'm a big fan, but I was younger to the point where, like, when I started watching Family Matters and knew what was going on, Stefan was becoming a bigger part of the show.
Stefan Urkel?
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
What was the other show with the two black kids raised by white people?
Different Strokes?
Different Strokes.
Yeah, Different Strokes.
Yeah,
it's like much older than us.
That was what you're talking about, Willis.
That's much older.
I was a big TV land part. All right, anything else before we close the show, boys?
Let's figure out a Full House episode.
Full House.
Yeah, TGIF episode. Now.
Yeah, TGIF.
TGIF.
Give us 6 months to watch. I gotta find Family Matters somewhere. I gotta rewatch Family Matters.
TGIF.
We have to talk about like all the failed ones too. Because do you remember the one with like the kid ate a sandwich and died, and then he was an angel, and he was like only his friend could see him?
Vaguely, yes.
Do you guys remember Kablam? It's not TGIF.
Yeah, I
Yes.
Kablam.
Kablam was my favorite Nickelodeon show of all time.
Prometheus and Bob. I still like think about that to this day.
The
Super Action
Team.
Hold on. I don't think it's Super Action Team.
Super Action Team now. Yeah, it is.
He's super strong and super naked.
And then like Inside Out Boy.
Thunder Girl.
Dude, that was my favorite Nickelodeon show of all time. Maybe one of those episodes.
Action Geek Now.
Actually, no, that's what we said. So going forward for 2021, we have Star Wars as
Milkman with the power to melt.
Going forward, we have our 2021 episodes of Star Wars. That's probably going to be January, February.
That's probably going to be a mix, too. So I think the plan for that, and we could do the 4 of us, but I know that we talked to Joe.
Quizzo Joe needs to be on.
Yeah, because he's like, I'll text him today.
Just let him pick a trilogy.
Because he was very adamant.
I think he was big on the prequels.
Indiana Jones rewatch, he was big.
I'll text him as soon as we're done here, while I'm also figuring out TGIF shows. I have a lot of work to do now.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
I got to get started on this Scrubs episode.
2 years in, I guess I'll start working.
Yeah. I'm going to get started on the Scrubs episode. It'll be the most I've ever been prepared.
Yeah, Scrubs will happen in 2022.
We also have our continuation of the music series.
We kind of fell off with that.
We're going to have James back on, right?
James should be on.
We have the songs created for movies.
And then we also want to do a couple drafts every year. So
we decided like 2 years, two drafts per year.
So
give me 2 chances to embarrass myself per year.
Fans, propose your draft ideas.
Yeah.
So, and by fans, I mean
I don't know.
Nick, Mark, and Brian.
I don't know if he's still interested.
Brian.
But third Brian, who was
he wants to be on a boy.
He wants to be a boy band episode,
right.
Which I'd be fine with.
Brian, third Brian wants to do a boy band.
I also
episode?
feel like at this point,
give me a chance to listen to some boy bands.
To be completely honest, I feel like at this point we cement it, we make it official, and we extend the 4th chair to Brian Marvel.
I thought that was already official.
It is like official.
I decline.
There's a new group text with.
I'm crying. I got really emotional.
Yeah. I remember it has a Puerto Rican flag. Yeah.
Now that I know that you guys haven't trademarked previously recorded, there's gonna be a new previously recorded podcast.
He's starting his own podcast.
That was a lie. Just to get you to record
again.
All right, guys, we're gonna end it out here. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Look for us in 2021 with hopefully maybe the middle of January. We got an episode for you.
Belgium.
Star Wars, Belgium.
Oh, yeah. Please, listener from Belgium, please reach out. We want to meet you.
Previously are at gmail.com.
Twitter, just Twitter. So much easier.
Twitter us. For all of us here, that's it. Merry Christmas. Marvel, anything to plug before we go?
Nope. Happy holidays, everybody.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where those treetops listen and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. But then I am dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and the children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white